All right, we have the rails. I just call them sides. Just cleaned up the ends. They're within 0.02 of one another. One's 4.5 exactly. The length isn't really a critical thing, but other than they should be the same, so they're close enough. These are the carbide pieces I'll be using. These are just a little over 3 inches. The advertisement is 3, but they're a little over actually, like 100 thousandths over. And they say they're a 1/2 inch wide. Well, they're not. They're about 17, 18 thousandths wider, and supposedly 1/8 of an inch thick, but they're about 1/44. So they're a little bit bigger than what they advertise. Theirs are going to be mounted on here. I'm going to show you a drawing in a minute. We're going to make little clips to hold them down. I'm going to grind a chamfer on the ends of these carbides, and then we're going to have a special little clip that's going to be here that will be screwed down to hold them on. I'm going to make them out the clips out of some A2 1/4 inch flat bar that I have. We have some holes to drill, counter bores. We're going to make our dowel pins out of this here W1 stock I have. This is 1/4 inch W1, so we can heat treat those so they'll be hard. I don't plan on grinding them. Being such a small part, they should be just fine. Hopefully they will not warp, because I'm going to thread one end of it. Then what else are we going to do? Really, that's about it. We're going to mill this down a little bit here for the clamp to sit on here, and the clamp is then screwed to this. Now this is just 1018 square stock. A lot of people use tool steel for this, and they actually heat treat it and harden it and all that. Well, I think it's better off if it's softer material. It's not like we're holding the world together here as a clamp or anything. So that way it can't scratch something. If it's hard and something gets in there, it could, sanding grit or grinding grit, it could actually scratch something. Even though here it would kind of embed in this, it might not scratch your work so much, and these won't scratch it. If these were harder than your work piece. So I'd rather try it out as softer material. Plus I had it in stock, and it's relatively inexpensive compared to everything else. Now, there's different ways you could put this on. You could somewhere mill a slot and they braze it in so it's integral, or silver solder it down. You could do that. You could glue it on, like JB Weld. You could do that. Now, some people have done that, the gluing already. So if you flex your bars too much, these can pop off. So gluing, I'm not a big fan of the gluing thing. I did consider it though. I'd consider brazing it or silver soldering on. I could do that. But I'm going to go the more complicated route and make these little clips that will go on the end and screw down is what I'm going to do. And there'll be socket head cap screws that hold it together. And then the dowel pins are just to guide it so that they stay in line and nice and hopefully parallel. Now, do I need to grind these after I'm done, let's say? After I get them all built, do I need to grind them? I doubt it very much. Both the carbides are the same thickness, pretty much. These are exactly the same. These measure up really nice, the bars. But we'll see how it goes. If they're not flat enough, I'll put them on the surface grinder, and I have a diamond wheel, and I will grind these in. I bet you they're going to be just fine, or pretty close, or close enough to be fine. So we'll just see how all this goes. But anyway, that's where we're going to go. Let's take a look at the drawing real quick. Now we're just looking at my computer screen here at the bench. So here's the top, bottom view here, bottom view. top view, side view, end views, and a little representation down here of a modeled 3D isometric type picture. So, but you'll see here there's these little clips right here and there, and then we have your socket head cap screws, and then the dowel pin holes, and then the carbide here on top where they'll be clamped down. Now I'm going to grind the end of the carbide to a 45 degrees roughly, and then these here will have a 45-degree chamfer on there, and there'll be a little pivoting action here because the back here will have a little step, and as you screw that down, it will clamp down on that. There's a little parts list, and these are the sides, all the details to make the sides, and you can see how they're machined down the slot, and that's where then the holes will be, and then the top holes for the screw holes. Basically, each side is the same almost, except one side has a sliding fit on the dowel pin, and the other side is a threaded hole for the dowel pin, and the counter bore on the one side for the socket cap screws, where this is just threaded over here. So, and this is the last page, a detail of the carbide, how it's going to be ground, the detail to make the clip right here, and then the dowel pin here. The screws are all just bought, purchased screws. All right, we're set up down here at this end, and we're going to spot drill. And we're going to ream the hole. Chamfer it. Socket head cap screw. We'll zero out the counter bore. I like doing these nice and slow. These are just high-speed steel, but I've had them a long time. I've never had to sharpen them. But if you run them slow, they do last a long time. And they make a very nice bore. Just perfect, and it's a little proud. Okay, this side is done on this one. Now we'll do the other side, which is drilling and tapping actually. There we go. We'll just run a chamfer in those real quick with the drill. All right, this part of it's done as far as the holes go. and they screw together just fine. I just lined them up nice and flush and on the table here, and they went right together. And the way the looks of the holes here look like they're going to be good. Here's a dowel pin, and that's just, you know, I'm going to make them, but they're going to be threaded over here. I decided I'd make my own. I had some 1-inch ones, but I would have pressed those in and then had only so much, about 3/4 of an inch sticking out, and I didn't feel that was enough. So I'm just going to make some out of this W1 rod. These are ready to at least test fit. These are the pins I made. Now, making my own pins, then I can make whatever length I want or need. If I only need short pins, I can make some short ones, you know, or if I needed really long ones, like for an axe or something crazy, something big. This way, I can always make my own. So these will screw in out here. Like that. Then this, you slip on here. They fit real nice, so it's a little bit. They slide nice, but you can't get them push on them too much, you know. So actually, it works really well. These will go in here. Feel really good. Put a straight edge across there, and it looks absolutely awesome. Next to perfect. It looks really, really good. Yeah, just 4,000. So I probably could have done 2, but that came out just nice. So. All right, this is right off the mill. I took it apart, and I was off a tiny bit on my calculations. Just on this one, well, actually a little bit on this one too. They hit the threads a tiny bit, but just a few thousandths off. Well, probably not on my calculation, probably on my machining, but it's okay because these screws are really short. These are low profile socket head cap screws, and they're only 3/8 of thread. And that was my plan, was never to engage anyway, and so they won't even go in all the way, so they don't even touch the other rods at all. They're only going to go in about a half of the distance of the length of the screw. So really, it's not going to affect anything. I'm just checking here, making sure I have a nice even grind, and it is. So we're good to go. Now this takes a few minutes. This is not like the fastest thing in the world. Now usually I use a drip watering pot, but if I do that, it makes a real mess and you can't see much what's going on here. So I'm just doing this dry. Okay, I'm all done, and we will go look at them on the bench. Okay, I have these all ground up right there. And you know, I just did this by eye as far as a comparison on how much relief I have here. I don't know how good you could see that, but they came out really nice, very nice and even, and they'll work just perfect on both ends. So they'll sit here with the bevel up like so, just like that. All right, I have this up on an angle block, sitting on a small parallel to get it at 45. There we go. Clean that up. I'm going to set this in here up against our stop over here. And put this over here. This stops the twisting of the vice jaws. Put that in. Make sure we're down. Both of those parallels are tight. See the step? See the step? It's 40,000 step in there. This is going to be only about 100 thousandths wide when we cut this off, so it will allow some rocking motion. I marked it down the center, and I marked off here to get our 4 out of here, but I'm probably going to end up making 6 because I can get 2 more out of there. That way I have a couple extra if I need them. Alright, I have a parallel down in here, and it's thinner than this. I just cut them in half the first time. Now I'm going to make them the right width. We're just going to drop them in, sitting on top of there. I zeroed. Alright, we'll do 2 at a time. I have them sitting on a parallel spread, so we pinch them nice and tight, and I'm going to make a cut, measure the thickness, and then finish it up. Should be able to do it pretty quick. Alright, I have all my blocks, of course, made, or clips I'm calling them, and this one's going to be the one that's drilled. I have a parallel in there. I set it on, and then I move the parallel out of the way. And I have a spacer one, using just one for a spacer over here. And we'll set up and drill our hole and counter bore for a number 10 screw.
Go down, halfway through it.
It's a 1032 low profile head. It's only 1/4 inch long on the threads. Socket head, very small Allen wrench. And that will go down in there and sit below the surface like that. All right, everything's made. I kind of have a little bit together. I threw these on, and this is what they came out. Now, these are mirror type image. So they're not all the same, right? This one, this one, this one, this one, this one are the same. This one, this one are the same, because it's offset. I did that because I do not want it to be all the way over here at the edge. That way it only goes on one way. Anyway, then the carbides are going to sit on here, and the pins are already installed, and the screws will go in through here. We'll get those, push it a little more together. Yeah, so they just pop on here. Carbides slip in there. Just slip in there. Yeah, there we go. These fit pretty good. It's and I can slide these up to the faces here. I don't want them to be over the face, but they can be close, and I can just set them where I want them that way, in case I had to set them back a ways or something different. But so I'll set them close. Now, I might end up taking a little bit off the top of these, a little bit, because you have to kind of balance them here as far as the height goes. You get them just right, and they'll both be below the surface of the carbide. In time, I'm sure they'll wear, but it goes together really nice. Looks pretty darn good. There were some ding marks in the bar here. And if you're gonna clamp a knife in there, and you'll be able to go across here and file where the bolster fits on the knife, where it fits up against the shoulder. You'll be able to just follow here, and make it the same. And these came out very flat across there. Zero light. These should work out really nice. We'll slap we could put a parallel in there. And And that's what you'll be doing, is having your blade, and then you'll be able to file that shoulder. And that shoulder is where, this is your bolster, is where it meets up with the knife. Right in here, this surface here, there's a tang that takes up about a little over a half an inch here that goes through into the handle, and then this shoulder comes out and out. So these two surfaces, you want them the same, so that when you put your bolster on, it meets up really nice and perfect. This one's pretty good. I did pretty good on this. Was my first knife, so I did pretty darn good. The other two knives I made were actually perfect. They came out really good. It took me a long time to get them just right, but they came out good. This one was very, very close to good. Anyway, that shoulder, you clamp that blade in there like that, so you can file those. Well, that's it. I mean, it's kind of a complicated one because the carbides are replaceable if they break. There are simpler ones. It wasn't too bad to make, really at all. You could make this in a day if you really wanted to, but I mean, it took me a little more than a day. Well, but I had other things going on too. So, but it came out awesome, and I have longer pins that can go in if I had to have something really a lot wider. So, or I could put it, and I could put in longer screws. So that's nice that the pins are changeable, the screws are changeable, the carbides are changeable. So this should last a very long time. So thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I made it to 30,000 subscribers. So we'll have to have a giveaway, I think. And I haven't decided on what I'm going to give away yet, but it's going to be nice. And it'll be something I make. So not sure what it's going to be yet. So guys, thank you. And thanks for watching.